And here we have the Apple M4 Mac Mini with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. Kind of retarded. They put the power button right there. You got two USB-C ports up front, and these are USB 3.2, I believe. Then you have your 3.5mm headphone jack. You got your power adapter, Ethernet if your Wi-Fi doesn't work, HDMI. Then you have your three Thunderbolt 4 ports, aka USB Type-C. So you get a total of 5 USB-C ports on this thing, which is a pretty healthy number, although there isn't USB-A, which is something that I would have liked to see. This is literally all you get. I mean, because, you know, they designed this to where you would accommodate, you know, all your accessories, so, you know, your monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Now, because this doesn't have any USB-A ports on it, I do plan to get a dock where, you know, you put it underneath to give it more ports, but, you know, that is kind of a little pricey. So for now, I got a $5 option, and I picked this one up alongside it. It's a USB-A to C. Oh, I got that mixed up. USB-C to A adapter. So this will allow me to plug in, you know, whatever I need to, at least until I can afford the dock. All right, enough bullshit, people. Let's get this thing set up. All right, so got her hooked up. Now, my MX Master 3S is Bluetooth, and it worked successfully. So let's go ahead and go through this real quick. Holy smokes, this looks like an entirely different computer. Like, it's just, it's so different from Windows. Like, it feels like I'm running an emulator, but, like, the funny thing is I'm not. Like, this is a real... I don't know, y'all. I can't describe it. Man, I don't know where to start. Okay, this is kind of like, this reminds me of the iPad, where it kind of looks like this. So if you're familiar with, like, iOS in general, like, this shouldn't be that hard to figure out at all. Well, they include one game, chess. Let's see, let's go into Safari real quick and see what's here. I'm going to probably try to use Safari from now on, just because Google Chrome takes up a lot of RAM. And I've noticed that especially with Windows. And, you know, I use Safari pretty much all the time with, you know, my iPhone, and it's been great, honestly. Let's get into Smoothie's Lounge. Let's get into the account and maybe play a video and see how it does. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. And I also appreciate it if you guys don't ask me if you can have my PS4 Pro. Bruh. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside, because I can't wait. Okay, right away I'm noticing something really weird. So, like, if I scroll up on the mouse, it'll scroll down. And if I scroll down, it'll scroll up. So I think it's set to, like, where it's inverted by default. I guess I'll fix that later. Yeah, Wikipedia looks great. Like, I'm just not used to having the, you know, Windows 11 tab right here. Like with that not here anymore, it feels pretty weird, like something that I'm gonna definitely have to get used to. But yeah, it's looking really good. Don't mind me, I was watching the new documentary on Netflix, so I was just typing anything in really. You know, I didn't use the Microsoft Store at all. And I'll be using this a lot more, you know, instead of going online and downloading stuff. Just because I used to do that a lot with Windows, but with this, you know, I mean, you pretty much have the best of both worlds. I mean, this is still a great option either way. Hey Siri. Fuck you. Oh, you gonna do me like that? Alright, bet. Let me pick out a couple games real quick and then I will get back to you guys shortly.
Bruh.
That tower looks like a good vantage point.
Alright, I forgot to update this thing to Mac OS Tahoe 26.2. So let's go ahead and do that now. So to clarify, some things that I think the Mac will suit me better for. For one, definitely video editing. You know, with my Windows machine, it, you know, wasn't really stable. Plus the RX 580 was pretty old by now. So it's definitely starting to show its age. Plus it's not really optimized for Filmora, so it does struggle a little bit. Also, I've been noticing for the past couple months too, like, you know, performance has really, you know, gone down the tank. And honestly, like I was working on a video and I was trying to screenshot using OBS and it just, I can really feel the lag. And I was like, you know what, that's it. Last fucking straw. You know, besides the video editing, you know, I do sometimes record from my iPhone, since honestly it's just really been a habit of mine instead of using the camera, you know, because I don't really take the camera outside in public since it is kind of bulky and I just don't like carrying, you know, something extra around when I have my phone already to do the job, and it does a great job. Transferring stuff from the iPhone to the Windows computer just has kind of been a pain, to be honest, and it just didn't really feel convenient for me. You know, I can easily transfer stuff over, you know, no problem. So that's what I really like about it. It's just a lot more convenient in that sense. I don't really like dealing with, you know, CCleaner and anti-malware bytes and AVG. I hate it, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna even bother trying to get rid of the pop-ups or anything because it's just, you know, extra work. When you have to deal with Trojans, you know what I mean? You know, with a Mac, it's not something you have to deal with, you know, because it's much more stable. And, you know, I don't really use like antivirus software. It's just not really a thing of mine. To me, video editing, as far as stability is concerned, is so important to me. Because if it just so happens to crash in the middle of editing and I lose all my work, as a video creator, you guys know just how frustrating that really can be. The downsides that I feel like the Mac will give me is definitely, and one thing that I had thought about was the USB ports. The Mac Mini is just filled with USB-C ports entirely. So a lot of my stuff has USB-A ports. So the transition from it is something that I'm gonna have to get used to. So, and also the drives that I had connected to my Windows PC, I do have to get a RAID drive or like a docking station tomorrow, since I forgot to pick that up. Because the one that I was using, I had like an adapter. It reads, so I can basically like access the files, but I can't really like transfer stuff from it. Also, it's non-upgradable. So if you want to upgrade, you know, in the near future. Now, the funny thing is with the Mac Minis, you can actually upgrade the SSDs, or if you want. They also have these docks where you put them under the Mac and it gives you extra ports if that's something you want, which is something I'm gonna need to get eventually for it. You know, because some people complain that it doesn't have an SD card reader, which is pretty convenient for those who do like video editing. Me personally, I do like USB-C So it's not really a huge deal breaker for me since I wasn't using it that much on my Windows machine anyway. But I would think that the SD card reader is something nice to have. But the biggest thing for me is the RAM, which I thought 16 gigabytes, it's pretty much fine today, but eventually, it's going to get to a point where it can start to feel limiting. I guess it's just me like wanting something that's future proof, but also something that, I can work with on a budget. And I got to overthinking about it. And in the end, I came to the conclusion that, on paper and as far as usability, that this would be a much better machine than, what I was using before. And it utilizes everything better in terms of, CPU, GPU and RAM usage too. So, I had DDR4 RAM in that thing. So if you get the same CPU and you get the same GPU, both being 10 cores, and we're talking just the regular M4 chip, right? We're not talking about the M4 Pro, which you could get too. But the M4 chip is, still amazing for what it can do. And, being that I got this on sale for $450, that is, that's an absolute steal. And why would you go to Best Buy? Unless if they aren't doing a deal on these anymore. But it just goes to show that this is really the best bang for your buck that you can possibly buy. I'm serious. But I really like the fact that, it's something different. And it's something that I'm willing to give a try. Mac is something that I wanted to use for a long time now. And, this is coming from a Windows user. Like, this is completely new to me. So that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because I have a lot more juicy content coming. And as you guys know, make sure to watch more of my shit because I really appreciate it. All right, y'all. Peace out.